Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Chaos Child, and we are just continuing the true ending. I forget what the name of the ending is. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And we just talked to Momose. Well, we're Sarika now. And she gave us a name and an address, and it's either going to be straight up going to Miyashiro, or we're going to get the circle jerk, and we're going to go around to, like, everybody, like Kunasato and Shinjo, because they're really the only ones. I mean, because Arimura and Kazuki would be in the school, and I don't think she would have sent us to them. But she might have sent us to Kunasato or Shinjo, who then, is going to send us to the other one, who then sends us, you know what I mean? It's either going to be a trail like that, or we straight up go to Miyashiro. But I guess it really depends. If they want to drag this out and make it longer, to give us more background and make it longer, then we'll be person hopping, I would assume. And then the end would be going to Miyashiro. So that's just my thought, but anyway. In my late afternoon, I'd arrived at my destination. Is that her voice? I don't know. Anyway. Isn't this place... Oh. The address on the memo sheet was for a hospital in Yoyogi. A.H. Tokyo General Hospital. I thought I'd heard the name before when I'd seen the memo, but it was only when I actually saw the building that I remembered. About 3 months ago, the police had run a search here. Everyone had been talking about it, to the point where I knew about it even though I didn't watch the news. They'd been committing all kinds of medical malpractice, which they hadn't reported at all, and they'd been making illegal donations to politicians for years to cover it up. Something like that. And they were linked with some weird cult, and instead of treatments, sometimes they'd make patients undergo weird rituals. Ew! This place is scary. I hope I'll be okay. I was pretty sure I'd heard that all the managers and doctors involved had been arrested, and any ties with the cult had been severed. It was supposedly a completely new hospital now, but still... Aw, it'll be fine. Just go. I spoke loudly to cheer myself up and went inside. Most of the hospital must have been closed for the weekend because the lobby was almost empty. But visiting hours hadn't ended yet, and no one stopped me as I walked through the halls. Come to think of it, the paper I was given only had a name. I didn't know if it belonged to a doctor, a patient, or maybe even a nurse. Excuse me. I spoke to a nurse at the nurse's station. Yes, what can I do for you? Does this person work here? I showed her the name on the memo. The nurse nodded. I'm sorry, oh, my name is Onoe. Are you a friend of Kunisato's? Okay, see, I told you it was going to be a circle jerk. When we got to the hospital, I was like, well, it's not Shinjo. But, and then I was like, and I feel like if they had put Miyashiro on the paper that we would have known. You know what I mean? She would have recognized the name and been like, what? I gotta see that serial killer. Well, you know what I mean? Are you a friend of Kunisato's? I know, Momose. Tell her Momose sent me and she'll understand. The nurse nodded again and reached for the phone on the desk. She spoke on the phone with someone for a moment. I apologize for the wait. She says she'll see you. Go to the psych ward on the 5th floor. The psych ward? Yes, it's normally off limits, so be careful. You'll see a door once you're out of the elevator. Press the intercom button in the side and the nurse there will show you in. Is Kunasato in the psych ward? I figured she was working here or something. Wait. Alright, thank you. Did we... Did we send Kunasato to the psych ward? What happened? I mean, I know she hates gigalomaniacs, but so much it drove her insane. What happened to her? I don't remember this. I don't remember anything happening to Kunasato. It was like, you're supposed to take everyone out of the city, right? Did, taking everyone out make her go insane or some shit? Oh, this is interesting. Or is she, working here? I could understand if she's working here, but, it's just... it makes you question, though, like, the game has thrown so many blind twists at us, like, we're actually all mummy people. I didn't expect to be mummy trolls. I don't know. Like, I headed for the elevator, like the nurse said. Oh, excuse me. Yes? The nurse glanced around to see if anyone was listening and leaned toward me. She was whispering. Wow, game typos. Is it your first time meeting Kunasato? Yes? Be careful, she can be a little difficult. I narrowed my eyebrows a little. For some reason, the nurse said good luck. I mean, it doesn't really bode well or bad for Kunasato, because I would expect that even if she was like a doctor working here, if she was working here, oh, good luck, she doesn't do well with people. Yeah, okay. She's a psych patient. Yeah, also. I mean, could go either way still. I went up to the 5th floor and pressed the button to call the nurse, who let me into the psych ward. I was told to go to the first door down the hall. Wait, I was going to a hospital room? I was sure she worked for the hospital. I mean, I kind of was too. I was questioning. Maybe she's a patient. I mean, still up in the air. I don't know. There was a plate for patient names in front of the room, but it didn't say Kunasato. It was blank. I knocked timidly. It's open. A gruff voice answered. Huh? Did I know that voice? What are you doing? If you're going to come inside, then come inside. Right. Excuse me. I remembered what the nurse had just said. She really did seem difficult. Or scary, more like. I fidgeted a little as I opened the door. Okay, no, she's... Okay. I was like, she's wearing her coat. She ain't a patient here. Look, game. I approve of this, though. I approve of the, like, baiting me and not switching me. You're like, so, like, you're going to the psych ward. Kunisato's there. And you're like, is she a patient? And then Serica's like, is she a patient? And you're like, girl, I don't know. Like, should we be worried? I don't know. Should we be worried? It's a little scary. I know, huh? Like, it could go either way. And you're just waiting to be like, is she a patient here? Like, what the fuck happened? And then you walk in, you're like, oh, never mind, she works here. Okay. Well, that I expected more than if she was a patient, but the game did a really good job at making me confused. Props, game. This game is good. This game is really good at, like, just putting shit you don't expect. You're like, I did not see this coming. Look, some games are not good at it. Okay? You are like, look, that character is suspicious. Although, I mean, I did peg Wakuya as suspicious, and I kind of was like, Serica's not real! I mean, it took a while to get there, but I did get there before the game told me. So I wasn't fully surprised about that. I did not expect our dad to kill people. I wasn't expecting that. I didn't expect Yui to die, and I didn't expect that Ito was gonna kill her. I mean, I think I suspected Ito for a little while, but everybody was suspicious, and you were like, they did it! Sus! Everybody's suspicious. I mean, everybody was suspicious at one point in time, so can't really take too much credit there, but I'm pretty sure I was like, she did it. Something wrong with this girl. Like, even though I loved her the whole time. And then she has powers. Oh, she's just a figment of our imagination. I mean, the game was leading me there, but I knocked its hand and I ran there before I was supposed to. That's all I'm saying. I saw the finish line before it got me there, is all I'm saying. Like, but, not from the beginning. Did not see that coming from the beginning, no. There are sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, from the very beginning of a game you're playing and you're like, that character is going to be the one that murders me. No question. And then they murder you and you're like, I'm not surprised. And the game's like, dun, dun, dun. Did you see that coming? Yes. From day fucking one. You set it up so pertinently. So easy. Looking at you, Atome Games. Looking at you, Atome Games, where you're like, this character is clearly in love with me and they're not a love interest. They're going to try to stab me. Come on. How many times have we seen that happen? It's a trope now. But this game is just constant with the like, okay. Or this. Well, I fully expected when we went to see Kunasato, she was just going to be plain old Kunasato. But it's like, we're going to throw this twist in here to make you doubt yourself. But nope, it's plain old Kunasato. And you're like, wow, I did doubt for a second. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck happened to her? Like, what happened? Because, I mean, we're creepy, like, shriveled mummy zombies. Whatever the fuck we are. Like, I didn't see that coming. Like, Jesus. I'm still not expecting it, and I know that that's what it is, but I'm still like, is it, what? Anyway. Oh. I keep the wrong button. It's because I can't play. Playing my Switch, not a game that we're doing right now, but like, because I'm finishing this before we do anything else, and you know the other game, we can't record it, so like, I'm just playing it on my own, so I'm playing my Switch, you know, like, in freebie time when I'm not recording, and so then standard, I'm always gonna hit the wrong buttons when I switch game systems, because why are they backwards? I don't know. The reason I thought I'd heard that voice before was that I had met her several times. Sometimes she'd come to visit me with Momose when I was in the hospital after my accident. I hadn't asked her name. I guess it was Kunasato then. Kunasato was sitting at her laptop typing at an incredible speed. She didn't even look at me. Why did you come here? I'm sorry? You were told not to come to Shibuya. This isn't Shibuya, it's Yoyogi. Then how did you know I was here? You went to Momose's place and found out from her, right? She's figured me out. Momose's company's in Shibuya, which means you went to Shibuya. See? I don't like idiots who can't listen to warnings. Remember that. I now knew exactly why the nurse had wished me good luck. I spoke loudly to keep up with the sound of fingers hitting keys. I came here because there's something I want to know. It's about my memories. She was deliberately hitting the keys hard. I wouldn't lose, though. Here. I put the photograph I brought in front of her face. She refused to look away from the screen. Meh. I found this in the newspaper club room at Hekio Academy. If you know something about it, please tell me. You went there? Yeah? It was only after she turned to look at me that I realized. Under her white lab coat, she was wearing a Hekio Academy uniform. The same as in the picture. Hey. Kunasato suddenly stood up and got close enough to my face that we almost touched. Do you know what that place is? What did you see? What did you do? I didn't do anything! I mean, I opened a door, and I went inside, and then I ransacked the newspaper club room and stole this photo, but I didn't do anything! I quickly drew back from her. She was scary. I could almost hear the sound of my own heart racing. Are you also a student? I mean, a patient there? What? Because that... I pointed at her uniform. Tell me, did I go there before? Tell me anything you know, no matter how small. Anything that could give me a clue to my memories. I want to know, no matter what. Kunasato kept looking at me. She seemed annoyed. It was like she was trying to feel out what was in my heart. So here's my curious thing. At the end of the beginning, you know, in the common route, right? There is an ending. The ending of that is like, yes, we get her a bubble, we're in the hospital, and then Sarika shows up and is like, come on, come with me. Is that where this is gonna go? Like, how the hell she ended up? Because remember, it was like, wasn't it like, I remember that ending. That was the common route, though, wasn't it? And it was like, so we just skip off with Sarika. What is happening here? Is this like the, like, okay, so she leaves, and then this happens, and then that's where the end, it's like the how that connects? Because it was always, like, kind of odd. Now I'm curious. She's gonna find out and then be like, all right, let's go, Taku. Like, anyway. It's like she was trying to feel out what was in my heart. What did Momose say? Huh? I'm sure you asked her the same question. What did she say? That she couldn't tell me anything herself? Oh, and that... She probably couldn't even tell me that she couldn't tell me anything. I see. That's just like her, the sly old bat. Oh, I think you're right. I found myself agreeing. Sly. That was the perfect word for her. You want to know, huh? About your past? Yes? Kunasato shrugged a little. Just so we're clear, I don't know anything about you. Huh? The first day I met you was the day you came to the hospital. Everything before that I heard from Momose. Alright. Kunasato and Onoe never met? In the whole entire part of the game? Really? Did they not? Was she never there? Everybody else knows her, but like, was she really just... Did Shinjo ever see her? Did Momose ever see her? Was she really? I mean, I know she was a figment of our imagination, sorta, but I thought everybody else could see her. But like, Kunasato never met her? Really? Okay, that blows my mind. We went through the whole entire, 11 fucking chapters of the common route, and Kunasato and Onoe never crossed paths? What? That's the most mind-boggling part of this. Holy shit. Okay, anyway. Alright. If you say so, that's strange. I don't know anything about that photograph either, or why you're wearing that uniform. But you're a patient there, right? I looked at the uniform she was wearing again. It was the same as the one I had on in the picture. No. Patients at that facility are required to wear uniforms. If I want to move around without arousing suspicion among the patients, I need this. Then, what are you? A scientist. I study Chaos Child Syndrome. That actually makes a lot of sense, though. Because, she was never at the school, right? We never noticed her, and then all of a sudden she shows up, she's wearing the uniform, but she's got the thing, blah, blah, blah. I mean, yes, she's our age. Or actually, maybe she's not. You know what I mean? But, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, she's a student here, but no, she never comes to school. But now it makes sense, oh, yeah. She puts on the uniform and pretends she, quote unquote, goes to school there because we're all crazy and we don't know that we're not really students. We're just patients at this weird facility. This is some trippy shit. I mean, bravo game. Because, I don't think I've ever gotten bored with this game. I think there were times where I was just, recording other stuff and I was just but I want to do that. Look, I'm still a little bitter that we couldn't record Bustafellas, okay? But, so you get involved in something else and you're but I'm really into this and I don't want to come back here and... But, it wasn't because, oh my god, I'm kind of bored with this game. It's dragging on. It was just no, but I'm really interested in this and this is what I want. I have that problem. If I have something in my head that I want to do, I need to do it now. I need to do that. That's what I have to do. Because otherwise it's okay, well, I'll do that later. No, I got to do it now. I know that I was in the middle of making coffee, but I just got the urge that I need to put the dishes in the dishwasher, so it's I could finish making coffee and then no, I gotta put the dishes in the dishwasher now. I have to fucking do it. So, if I'm invested in starting another game and I'm really into it, okay, I'm gonna put it aside, and I normally do that, and I can normally, okay, we played this route, cool, I'm gonna go play this other game, and then go back and forth just to let it sink in, but I kind of have to force myself to do that. Because when I'm playing something and it's I'm invested, I just want to keep doing it. Until I'm all right, I need to take a break. And then I can go back. So, coming back to this, it was always but I'm invested in the other thing. I know that I need to come over here and play this. But I still want to be playing the other game. Not this one right now. But it wasn't oh, this game. Where sometimes you're I don't want to do it. It's I'm just invested in something else. So it was hard to pull myself back. But every time we'd start, and I'm all right, so we gotta... No, this game is still damn really fucking good. It's always really good. You know? I hadn't tired myself of the other game that I was playing, but... whatnot. But now we have nothing else to do but this. So, I mean, we're gonna do this route anyway, but literally have nothing else to record right now. At the point this is going up, other things are going up, but at the point where I am in recording this, still at the end of August, We have nothing else to play, so here we are. But this game has always been good from beginning to end. Even when you're like, okay, I need to take a little bit of a break, just because there's a lot going on. Every time we come back to it and you're like, all right, let's see, let's get in. It's not like, okay, like some other games, let's get into it. Yep, all right, I'm playing it. And I'm like, I don't wanna. You're like, this is so good. There's always something happening. I think there was a couple of routes where you're like, nothing has happened. Literally, for the last two, nothing has happened. But you knew something was gonna. But it was like, I think we had a couple of hours throughout the course of the whole game where nothing happened. Everything else was always like one thing after another, like shit. Like shit. I got my money's worth out of this game is all I'm saying. And now we're weird zombie people. Fucking mind blown. God damn it, game. Just so much shit that you never see coming. I think it's because there's so much going on that there's no way you could see like 90% of this coming. I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so she studies chaos child syndrome. Anyway, but goddamn. A scientist? Yeah. She tapped the laptop monitor with her fingers. It was filled with rows of tiny numbers and several images of what looked like human brains. Did I maybe have some special reason for being there, like you did? If I'm wearing that uniform in the photo... No. If nothing else, I don't remember seeing you there. And I can't imagine what that special reason would be. You don't seem to be a scientist like I am. And again! Serica was never there when Kunasato was there. Serica also... I'm getting so freaking weirded out that they never ran into each other. And, like, I'm starting to wonder, I'm starting to doubt myself now and be like, okay, well, like, Arimura, Ito, everybody else that was at the school were, quote-unquote, patients, right? So it would make sense if somehow our delusion, they were seeing Serica, which was our delusion. Okay. But, like... Our father saw her, which is interesting. But I'm just like trying to like piece this and be like, was she really actually like, I mean, I joke that she was a figment of our imagination, but it's like, I made her real. Okay, but you made her real, other people could see her. Could they though? Now I'm wondering. I'm like, oh my God, are we all crazy? We didn't know we were weird zombie people. We didn't know that Serica wasn't real. Oh my God, what is happening? I'm losing my mind. But like, so Kunasato never met her. But like, did Mimosa? No! I mean, in other routes, there was a point where she showed up at Frisia at one point, I thought. But maybe Kunasato wasn't there. But I feel like, and that could have been in one of the other routes. I don't really remember. Because you do so much that I can't remember back to the original path. And like, but Kunasato never... Did Shinjo ever meet her? I mean, our father clearly did, because we know what happened there. But he also was using them... But you're starting to wonder, like, did these people... Did nobody else ever see her? Did Momose never see her before that? Did Shinjo never see her before that? Or was it just Kunasato and her paths never crossed? I'm just starting to... It's tripping me out, though. I don't know. I don't know which end is up in this game. I love it. It's great. Anyway. That answer didn't satisfy me. The guard had acted like he knew who I was. And the woman in the picture had been acting like we were friends. This person is a patient, aren't they? I pointed at the photo. Tell me about her. If you're doing research on them, you should know her, right? I can't just give private information to outsiders. I might not be an outsider, though. Why do you want answers so badly? But the thing is like, wouldn't Kunasato have been informed that Serica was the one behind it all? Like, I feel like Momose, Kunasato, Shinjo, they should know all of this. You know what I mean? So... Like, Kunasato may never have met Serica, but she should know the deal with Serica. So this is interesting. This is confusing. Of course I want answers! Who wouldn't want to know about themselves? And I think I heard lots of voices in front of the room where this photo was taken. I don't know how to describe it, but it all felt so familiar. If this person was one of the voices, they must have been a dear friend of mine. Is it wrong to want to know about a dear friend that you murdered? Ugh. She was glaring at me with a really scary look on her face. Did I go a little too far? But I couldn't help it. It was the truth. You're a pain in the ass. What? I can see why Momose sent you to me. She stood up and went to leave the room, as if she was finished talking. Wait! I quickly tried to stop her. We're not done. Wait here a little. I'll find out if it's okay to tell you. Huh? Don't touch my computer. Huh? I thought to myself as I was alone in the room. Aren't we in this hospital? Maybe we are. Maybe she does have friends. She's coming to us. I was kept waiting for about an hour. Just when I was starting to think that she was making me wait deliberately, she came back into the room. She told me to follow her and to promise that I wouldn't tell anyone what I was about to see. Is she bringing her to us? I'm just waiting for us to be here. The fact that you snuck into Hekio already worked in your favor. If she's going to do that on her own, it's better just to tell her, they said. The person in charge of the research? Well, they're certainly in charge. Kunasato went deeper into the building, then stopped. Here. She turned around to face me as she put her hand on the door. Oh, wait. I want you to promise me something before you go inside. Of course you'll tell no one what you saw in here. But also... Right. Once you see the people inside and accept things, that this time you'll stay away from Shibuya. Huh? That's my condition for telling you what you want to know. Wait, what do you... You'll know when you see them. Kunasato opened the door without waiting for my answer. Ito and me. There's Ito. There's Arimura. And Yamazoe. And I'm gonna guess we're in the other one. Oh, nope. That's, what's her face? Kurusu. I was struck dumb when I saw what was in the room. The only light came from the fluorescent lamps overhead. I could smell the peculiar scent of disinfectant. There were 4 beds, each with a patient on them. All of them were old women. Oh, that's Kazuki! Because I was just thinking, where the fuck is Kazuki? Ito would have been somewhere else. But he was at the school, but was he That's what's confusing me. Ito. What the fuck is the deal with Ito? Why was he there? He didn't have abilities. Did he? Did he and he just didn't know? Was Ito controlling the whole thing? We're all figments of Ito's imagination. I don't know. Your bodies were hooked up to machines like the ones you saw on TV shows that went beep, beep in time with the rhythm of their hearts. This way. Oh, didn't realize that Kazuki's hair... Well, except for Kazuki's hair was like blue, but I was just thinking like, because the style almost looked like Ito's from this angle, but okay. Kunasato called me from the bed that was furthest back. I got close and gasped. It was her. It was the girl in the photograph with me. No, Kurusu. Age 18. A Chaos Child Syndrome patient. She's been in a coma for 3 months. She's 18? A coma? 3 months? Unlike the other 3, when she was brought here, she had a terrible wound on her abdomen. What? She was hurt? Yeah. It got hairy a few times, but we managed to save her. For some reason, Kunasato was frowning as she looked at me. She's waiting to see. She's like, do you remember that you stabbed her? Well, anyway, now you understand, right? There's no way to ask her what her relationship to you was. She pointed to the woman on the bed as if to say, satisfied? A coma because of the syndrome? That's right. And the others? I looked at the other beds. This is, like, just baffling to me. Like, holy shit. Each of them had a name written above their pillow. Inai Arimura, Hanakazuki, Yuki Yamazoe? Yeah, was all she said. They're going to get better, right? I don't know. The girl in the bed, Kurusu, was as still as a doll. And it's funny because they don't know in this that Kurusu is Minamisawa. Without the sound of the heart monitor, I doubt I would have known she was alive. It really did feel like I knew her. Maybe. What had our relationship been like before the accident? Had we been friends at Hekio Academy? Why am I... It felt like I could almost remember, but I couldn't. Nono Kurusu, Hanakazuki, Inai Arimura, Yuki Yamazoe. They were all names I was hearing for the first time, but it didn't feel that way. It was so frustrating not being able to remember. If they've been in a coma for 3 months, that means it started at the same time as the festival, right? And that was when I lost my memories. Was that a coincidence? Why did they all end up in a coma? I mean, Sarika stabbed Kurusu. But what happened with Arimura, Kazuki, and Yamazoe? Like, Why did they all end up in a coma? That's private medical information. Why do you care? I want to ask her about my past self. About my past myself, sorry. This isn't an illness that an amateur can treat. You don't know that. I wish Kunisada would just slap her right there, just... How dare you? But Kunisada wasn't listening. She just kept insisting that I leave and never go back to Shibuya. All right, I'll go back to Hekio tomorrow. What? Kunisada raised her eyebrows. If I can't talk to Kurusu, my only option is Hekio. The guard there acted like he knew me. Like hell you will. Kunisado angrily drew closer to me and I stepped back. You're like, I want answers, and all you gave me was a bunch of people in a coma. Like, she can't answer your question, bye. Like, they're trying to avoid... You know what I mean? I feel like Momose sent her to Kunisado so Kunisado could be like, well, I didn't know anything about you. And then, see, all your friends are in comas, peace out, leave. So that we'd be like, huh, weird, I'm not going to get any answers, I guess, and go home. So that, but it's going to just push us further and further, and eventually we're going to get to Miyashiro. And that's when all the shit's going to come out. You know. Kunisado angrily drew closer to me and I stepped back. Just try it. I'll have Momose cut off your living expenses. What? That would be bad. No, I wouldn't give up. I'll get a part-time job. It'll be fine. I see. You've got guts. But in this country, it's hard to get a real job without a guardian. And your guardian is also Momose. That one worked. If she wouldn't let me get a job, I couldn't survive. That's awful. Why are you so... Just heed the warning you were given. At least give me a reason that I can accept. Why did you want to keep it a secret so badly? I didn't think I was asking for anything weird. It's got nothing to do with your memories. Hekio Academy is in a delicate position right now. Kunisado ran an aggravated hand through her hair and showed me what was on the laptop she'd brought. The screen showed a picture of a man. Huh? Is it us? Nope. Ooh, Wakui. Principal Investigator. Okay, here's Administrator Class Personnel, Master Access Rights, Class A Rights Holder, Frontotemporal lobar degeneration, syndrome, bipolar disorder, developmental disorder education. That's his specialty. Okay. Achievements, health management research for chaos child syndrome, differentiation of chaos child syndrome from mental disorders, primary role at facility, mental care and management of chaos child syndrome patients, negotiation with government organizations, career, not found error. Huh. So it's kind of funny. So this is like he works there, but he works for the committee, but that it sounds like that's like his like dual agency. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I work here and I work at the center and I blah blah blah, but also I'm working for them behind their back. You know what I mean? I'd seen him before too, but where? I couldn't remember. Yeah, see, that was the sleep. Yeah, it was him. I was talking. Yeah. Shuichi. Oh, that's Kunasato. Shuichi Wakui. The patients think he's just a normal teacher, but he's not. He's one of the people in charge of the Hekio facility. He used to be a researcher working on Chaos Child Syndrome. After the festival, he took all the data we had on the syndrome and vanished. Theft of patient information is a serious problem. The whole school was in an uproar. Ah, because he works for the committee. That makes sense. Okay. But he was particularly nasty. He used his position as administrator to make the school his private property. I can't tell you the details, but because of him, Hekio Academy is in a position where anything could happen. So I'm telling you to stay away from it. Hey, are you listening? Huh? Oh, right. I couldn't take my eyes off the man in the picture. What was this? I knew him from somewhere. Oh! My eyes met with Kunisato's just as the scene flashed through my mind. Her look of annoyance had vanished and she was dead serious. Do you remember this man? Huh? Do you know where you met him? I tried to remember the image I'd just seen. It was probably... Well? I can't say for sure, but why would I know that place? I could hear Kunasato whisper as I tried to think. Oh. She remembers the location of the device. Was the memory alteration imperfect? Huh? What did you say? No, it's nothing you need to worry about. Just tell me where you saw him. It was important. Sure, okay. But in exchange, I have a request. And then he explained the idea I just had to her. I left the patient room and was taken even deeper into the hospital. I was told I'll need to get permission from above and I'll have to negotiate and kept waiting several more hours. I wonder if from above and I have to negotiate wouldn't that be fucking hilarious? And then you go to us. I was actually the master of the game that you thought you were the master of that you were creating for me, but I was creating it for you to create it for me. Circle jerk kind of shit. What? I don't know. It was probably night outside now. The further into the hospital I went, the colder the air became. It felt like something terrifying was waiting for me. Where are we going? To fulfill my end of the bargain, you need to meet another patient. Huh? Was what I said that difficult? I hadn't thought it would be. Shinjo. Shinjo's a patient here? Wait, what? Oh, no, he's just here. Kunasato took me down the hallway to an area marked staff only, no entry. A man in a suit was waiting for us. His eyes went wide with surprise when he saw me. What are you thinking? You can't do this. I'll explain inside. Kunasato brushed past him. Oh, are we going to see me finally? Because Shinjo was here because he's like our dad now. Oh, no way. Huh? This is Detective Shinjo with the Shibuya Police. He's helping us with our research into Chaos Child Syndrome. A detective? Helping study a disease? Poor Shinjo. Shinjo's face. He just always looks so confused and sad and just like, why? Just why? Shit is always just going wrong for poor Shinjo. I love him so much. Oh, this poor man. Was that a thing that happened? I bowed, confused. Shinjo, how long until the guards change shifts? You have some time, but he's gonna be mad. Yep, it's us. I'm sure. Anyway, come with me. This is important for you to hear. Kunasato went further down the hallway. I know, like, right now, me is Sarika, but I feel like we're just in her head, but us is us. We've been Miyashiro from day one, so. I followed. It felt like something scary was getting closer. Yeah, because we probably look like a fucking zombie mole or whatever the fuck. Is someone there? You'll know when you go inside. You at least watch the news, right? The news? Is he famous? Yeah, I'm sure Kunasato told you this. But you'll need to learn what you keep. You'll need to keep what you learn here a secret. You can't tell anyone about him or that you met him, or even that this place exists, got it? Yes, sir. What kind of famous person could it be if they needed all this secrecy? A murderer? I mean, two of them stopped in front of a certain door. There was a no visitors sign on the door, and the small window was barred. Only a faint light came from within. It's so sad for us. The detective took out something. It was a key. The door locked from the outside. Yeah, because we're like a prisoner. There was a tension building between the two of them. I started to feel nervous, too. Oh, no way. Yes? How much do you know about the Return of the New Generation Madness? Return of the New Generation Madness? I knew about it. I heard what they said about it on TV, I guess. It was a spree of serial killings in Shibuya, right? What do you know about the killer? He was a boy a year older than me. What was his name? Miyazawa? Miyashiro. Takuru Miyashiro. Oh, yeah, something like that. When I borrowed Ayaka's phone to look up Chaos Child Syndrome, I'd seen his name a few times on news sites and blogs. At first, I'd wondered why he was showing up in my search results, but when I read them, I found out that he had Chaos Child Syndrome, too. By the time Ayaka and Aoi told me not to look, it was too late. I'd already seen photos of the crime scenes. They were awful. Just remembering them made me feel anger and hatred toward the killer. This is going to be interesting. I can't believe that somebody only a year older than me could do something like that. The fact that they are not just like, they're just like letting us go about our life because Miyashiro was like, just let her go. This is my fault, just let her be normal. Like, oh, Miyashiro. You're such a good dad to the girl who's in love with you that you created. Just kind of, it's weird. It's a weird situation. But maybe he wanted to be famous. Maybe that's why. And one of the victims was his own sister, they said. I couldn't believe it. Do you know what happened to Miyashiro after the case? Huh? I don't know. But he was arrested, right? They didn't put him on trial or something. For some reason, Kunasato glanced at the door. So did Shinjo. I suddenly felt cold ice pressed to the back of my neck. No way. It couldn't be. Was he inside? No one has ever recovered from Chaos Child Syndrome. At least as far as the public knows. Miyashiro suffered from Chaos Child Syndrome when he committed the murders, but after he was arrested, we learned that he was recovering. He's presently the only person to recover from the disease, so he's been kept specially quarantined here to help us find a cure. Not that the public knows anything about it, Kunasato added. It was cold, but I still felt an awful sweat. The killer was working with Kunasato? And the police were in on it too? Why do I have to meet someone like that? No, I'm scared. I don't want to meet him. Who knows what he'll do to me? Don't worry, he won't do anything to you. I'm sure of it. Kunasato wasn't listening to me. He won't because he basically took the rap for our crimes. This is going to be a hard knock life for us when we find out the truth. Shinjo used the key and the door slowly opened. Oh, at least we don't look like a mummy. I saw him immediately in the dark room. He's just sitting there. Oh, I feel so bad for us. Aww. He looks a little gaunt, poor thing. He was sitting on the bed looking at me. He wasn't handcuffed and he wasn't bound at all. I took a small step back. He was thin and wasting away like a dead tree branch. It was hard to believe he'd committed those murders. Had he just recovered from Chaos Child Syndrome? His face was like an 18-year-old boy's, but his bony limbs and neck still looked like they belonged to an old man. This is Takuro Miyashiro? The killer behind the return of the New Generation Madness? Shinjo, Kunasato, this wasn't the deal. I found myself hiding behind Kunasato's back when he spoke. The kind of killer who could do something like that had to be a very scary man. My hand was shaking as I held onto Kunasato's white lab coat. Aw, we are so gaunt and bony. Look at our cheeks, poor thing. What are you doing? Why would you bring someone here who has nothing to do with this? I could tell from his voice that he was angry. I shrank back to try and hide from him. The situation changed. This is Sarika Onoe. It seems she knows about Hekio Academy. Are we all pretending that we don't know her? Wait, what? She remembers being alone with Wakui in a certain place, she says. Huh? And that's all of us, huh? Well, he and Shinjo gasped in surprise. He stood up from the bed and walked over to me. I got scared and clung to Kunasato tighter. No, that can't be. And that's right. She probably means the facility that disappeared from the basement of this building. What Shinjo's been looking for without success is probably there. And Sarika Onoe remembers where it is. Is that true? The detective grabbed me and pulled me close. Yeah, you have to worry about Shinjo, not Miyashiro. She's like, I'm worried about the kid. Shinjo is pissed. He's like, tell me what the fuck, I'm sick of this shit. Shinjo's had enough of this shit, okay? This poor man. I mean, like, I feel bad for Ito, but, like, I almost feel worse for Shinjo because I just feel like, Ito, you got involved by being friends with me is all I'm saying. I still like how they just, like, leave that, like, they're all the students there and we're the only one, but, like, but Ito? Why was he at Hekio Academy? He didn't have Chaos Child Syndrome. Did he? What the hell is going on with that? Can someone explain that to me? We're gonna leave that out there, like, oh, he was just our friend, like, he murdered our, he was just there for plot reasons. Everybody else was like, okay, they were at least all gigalomaniacs, which seemed, and now it's like, oh, no, it makes sense, okay. But, like, but Ito, question mark, question mark, question mark, what the hell? I was yanked away from Kunasato. Where did you meet him? Huh? I almost answered, but managed to stop myself in time. I could hear Kunasato groan. It was close. I wasn't supposed to tell them yet. Oh, no way. She wants to make a trade. What? What do you mean? She says she'll tell us where the facility is. In exchange, she wants to help us find the cause of Chaos Child Syndrome. Miyashiro was looking at me with narrowed eyes again. Oh no, I wasn't. Are you pretending you don't know us? Huh? Can I ask you something? He was scary when he stared at me. But I worked up my courage and looked back at the killer. What? Why do you want to get involved? I don't think there's anything an amateur could do that would help. Well, tell the detective where the facility is and go back to your normal, happy life. Yeah, he's pretending not to know us. Because he doesn't want... Like, because he did all that so that we would have a normal, happy life. And he took the rap for us, you know? I didn't think a person like him would understand how I felt. Girl, your emotions are like the tip of the iceberg over here. He was the kind of person who killed his own family. But if I didn't say anything, it would feel like I was letting him beat me. So I decided to say what I was thinking. My voice started to fill with emotion until finally I was practically shouting in space. Is it wrong to want to save someone who might be my friend? Not that you would know anything about that, though, I bet. And everybody in this room is like, oh Oh, no shades there. I kind of, like, there's a part of me that doesn't want her to ever find out because we sacrificed everything to give her this happy life for her to go and just, like, and took the blame for her when we could have been like, it was her the whole time. I didn't do this. And we could have gone on, but we were like, no, we created her and this is our fault. And, you know, she did this and it was because of something I did by creating her, you know? So we risked everything to just give her this happy life. So you kind of just want what Miyashiro did to just never come to light. And she just goes off on her own happy forever, thinking that we're like a psychopath who murdered our family and friends. And then like, but another part of you was like, no, bitch, after that comment, I want you to know what happened. So you're like, and they're like, yeah, in your face, bitch. Because I'm vindictive. Like, so I'm not really sure which way I want it to go. I'm not sure if I'd be happy either way. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it'll be like, yeah, okay. But also, like, either way it's gonna go, there's gonna be pluses and negatives to it. Like, I'm not sure which would satisfy me more. I think I'll be left a little unsatisfied by both options. Yeah. I think at the moment I really want her to get her memories back. Because, like, man, I feel for Miyashiro. I understand that, like, we created Sarika, right? And what she did was for us, and we were taking the blame for it. But, like, we made her a real person. She's responsible for herself. And why are we, like, you know, we tried to do the right thing here. She came back and fought it. Well, now she got to fess up to her shit. You know? And, like, look, Miyashiro, you tried to be noble and, like, martyr yourself for her. But, like, now that she came back, it's done. That's it. Whatever. Like, too bad. You got to face the consequences, Sarika. But on the other hand, I don't know. I feel like I'm leaning more toward I want her to remember that she's the one who did it all. But, you know, I could see them going either way with it. I don't know. He didn't say anything back. He just listened to me silently. And this is honestly like the strongest thing ever is when people are like, you wouldn't know anything about that. And he's like, I could tell you everything right now and what a fucking bitch you're being. But I'm just going to sit here and let you have your moment and just pretend like, no, you right, girl. Like, that takes some balls to just keep your mouth shut and let that person live in their delusion instead of being like, no, you're wrong, you know? And then when I was done, he smiled a little. What? How can he smile like that? Miyashiro, I'm giving you the final decision here. Shinjo, that's okay, right? I guess I don't have a choice. Shinjo's, this expression on his face and that line is literally the summation of Shinjo's character. I guess I don't have a choice. Like, fucking Shinjo. He's so, like, I don't want to say he's pathetic, because he's not, but there's a little patheticness in him. But it's just the exhaustion and the, I give up. And oh my god, why? And it's just, he's a little Eeyore. He's a little bit of an Eeyore character, and you just gotta love him for it. You're like, this poor man tries so fucking hard, and everybody just like, just does whatever the fuck they want, and he has no control. Like, he's trying so hard. And it's just like, I'm gonna go sit under the rain cloud, I guess. Whatever. Thanks for noticing. Like, poor fucking Eeyore. Thank you. I looked at Kunosato and the detective in surprise. They were going to let a murderer decide what to do with me? That didn't make any sense. But it's a fact that without Onoe's information, we're not going to get anywhere. If we can find the facility, we can complete the image. I know. Kunosato, Shinjo, can you leave me alone with her for a little while? Huh? That shocked me even more. No way! Who knew what he'd do? Do what you want. Just for a little, okay? Wait a second! No! It's kind of funny, actually. It's got the happy music in the background. That's funny. I grabbed Kunosano's lab coat, but she knocked my hand away. And then the detective, of all people, was the first to leave the room! It's because Shinjo gives no fucks anymore. I love Shinjo so much. All he said was an irresponsible, "Don't worry, you'll be fine." And then he shut the door and locked it, too. I was trapped in here. I was too scared to turn around and face the bed. Whether I'd meant it or not, I'd been really mean to him. What if he attacked me? I took a glance over my shoulder. Takuro Miyashiro, was still there. Can I sit down? I get tired if I stand up for too long. Do what you want. Miyashiro took a deep breath and sat on the bed. He rubbed his knees as if he was feeling for something. There was no strength in him, and sitting down, he looked even smaller. He didn't look like he was going to attack me. A little relieved, I turned to face him. I'm not gonna do anything. Just wanted to hear the rest of what you had to say. You said you wanted to save a girl who might be your friend, right? That's right. So what? Is that... Miyashiro stopped rubbing his knees. And then he looked straight at me. It's really sad. He's like, this is what happens after 30. Hold on, I gotta say my hip hurts, my knees hurt. Oh, God. And then he looked straight at me. The older you get, the more hurts. Is that what you want to do right now? For some reason, when he asked that question, I found that I couldn't speak for a second. I felt something boiling up deep within my heart. But then I answered him clearly. That's right. That's what I want to do. Is that all? Oh, yeah. For some reason, Miyashiro smiled again. I didn't understand what that smile meant. I see. Then he burst out laughing, and I didn't know what to do. He curled his tiny body up into an even tinier ball as he doubled over laughing. He shook as he tried to stop laughing, but he failed, and a hoarse voice leaked out of his throat. I didn't find it funny at all. He finds it hilarious because he risked everything to fucking get you out, and now you're back, and he's just like, why? What's so funny? No, sorry, it's nothing. So, once you save this girl who might be your friend, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna ask her about me. What I was like? Why I was at Hekio Academy? I see. Alright, that's a relief. Please help us. Huh? Relieved? What did that mean? This really didn't make any sense at all. Are you sure you can just okay it like that? Yeah, I won't get in the way of what you want to do. Well, as long as you stay out of certain places. Certain places? What do you mean? Never mind. Thanks for your help. Miyashiro offered me his hand as he smiled. Did he want me to shake it? No way! I looked away and he stopped smiling and scratched his head. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. He seemed like a normal, awkward boy. He is a normal, awkward boy! Aww. Everybody thinks we're, like, smart enough to murder people and shit, and we're like, I'm not bright enough to come up with these plans. I mean, I don't know if it's nice that you think I'm smart enough to do this, or if it's scary that you think I'm, like, psycho enough to do this. I don't really know. It was impossible to believe that he could be a killer. Wait, what am I thinking? My mind flashed back to those images of the case. The blood everywhere, the expressions of pain, the cruelly tortured bodies that you did. This is why there's a part of me that wants her to get her, like, I just want to knock her fucking off her pedestal. You know what I mean? She's like, how dare you, you horrible human being. That was actually you. Yeah. Maybe shut your fucking trap. I know we're Sarika right now, but we're always, I'm sorry, we're in her head, but we will always be Miyashiro, and I will always side with us. I'm sorry. Except for on this, Miyashiro, I'm not siding with you on the letting her escape. So now that she's back, we got to get her memories back, and she's got to, like, deal with what she did. She got to face her comeuppance, all I'm saying. The anger I'd almost forgotten came back. Like, there's only so much you can do as a parent, Miyashiro, to protect your child. At some point, they have to be responsible for their own actions. Gonna have to learn that lesson, Miyashiro. Just so we're clear, No matter what your reason was, killing someone is never right. What you did is the worst thing a person can do. Yeah, I really want her to get our block knocked off. We need to knock her off her pedestal. This makes me more and more like, how dare you? You did this, you psycho bitch. I love her, don't get me wrong. She was a lot of fun, but still, in a fist fight, in a fight between Miyashiro and Serika, I'm going to side with Miyashiro the whole time. I'm just saying. The person in front of me had killed his own sister, and then said he'd killed himself, but didn't, and said he'd kill himself, but didn't. Was he scared of dying even after he'd killed other people? Did he care about his own life too much? The people he'd killed had their own lives that they'd cared about too. Yeah, because then I want all this to flash back into her head and for her to be like, oh, he cared more about my life than his own. Yeah, I need that realization to happen. I know that we're aware of it. I need her to be aware of it. That's all I'm saying. They had lives, friends, and families. The thing I was trying so hard to get for myself. Maybe I'd never get them no matter how hard I tried. And he just stolen all the way of them. He just stolen all of them away from others. I hate people like you. I didn't know what effect my words had on him. He just sat on the bed and silently looked up. And suddenly smiled again. What? And what's more, there were tears in his eyes. His tears were so honest and true that I found myself overwhelmed. They fell to the bed without a sound. How long did we stay like that? I had to remind myself that the person in front of me was a serial killer. If I didn't, I felt like I might forget my anger. I couldn't believe myself. It's too late for crying and regrets now. Yashiro kept crying, but he didn't stop smiling. His face looked like a parent watching a child, because this basically is. I don't have any regrets. I don't regret what I did. I'm satisfied. And because he's talking about taking the blame. Mm-hmm. He didn't regret it? After all those terrible killings? And he was serious, too. It was as if he was crying tears of joy. You scum! That's so sad, because that's exactly what he's doing. He is happy, he doesn't regret it, because we don't remember, and we're like, what you did was horrible, and we're like, good. What we did had the intended effect, and you're living a normal life, and you think everything that happened was awful, and not like, hey, wow, you know what I mean? And he's proud of what he did, saving us, and that's just so fucking sad. That's so goddamn sad. It's like, that hurts a little, game. It hurts. And I know they're probably going to leave it like she never remembers and he just continue. But it's like, man, I want Miyashiro to get a happier ending than this, but I didn't want to keep talking to him anymore. Oops, I hit the wrong button. I went to the door and called for Kunasato and the detective. They came inside and looked toward Miyashiro without bothering to see if I was okay. Because they hate you. I feel like even though Kunasato may never have met you, they know. They know that you did this. They know Miyashiro didn't, and that's why they don't give a fuck. They know he's not going to hurt her, but they're also like, we don't give a fuck about you because you're really the one that did it, and we're just being nice to you for his sake. What did you decide? Miyashiro wiped away the tears as he spoke. I've decided to have her help us. You're sure? Yes. The two of them looked at his face as if they saw something painful there. But he kept laughing and crying. She's a little different than what I thought a normal girl would be. But if she wants to help Nono, then let's accept her offer. Nono? Nono was the first name of Kurusu, the woman in the hospital room. Which meant that the two of them were friends? Miyashiro, I just want to ask this once to be sure. Kunosato's voice was low. She probably was worried I'd hear. You aren't who you used to be. You can't use your power, you know that, right? Yeah, I've tried it many times. I can't even see the dice sword anymore. Power? Dice sword? What was he talking about? If things go pear-shaped, you won't be able to rely on your power. You're willing to go ahead with this anyway, right? Yes, for Nono and the others' sake. And anyway, This isn't like you. Aren't you happy enough just to get any clues about the committee?
Miyashiro chuckled and Kunasato frowned and looked away.
Shut up. Never seen someone throw away their power and come back. I'm not sure how to handle you.
Are you sure? She asked. Miyashiro nodded.
I'm fine. I don't need that power anymore.
She was still looking away from him. All right, she whispered. Detective Shinjo's mouth went wide open in shock when he saw that.
What? Is there something on my face? No, I've just never seen you so obviously bothered like that. Would you prefer I was like this all the time? Oh, that's a great idea.
Wait, wasn't it? Wait, what? Wait. Which one was that?
No, I've just never seen you so... And then Shinjo says, would you prefer I was like this all the time? That's really weird. It doesn't feel like that should be a Shinjo line, but it was. I don't... Anyway. Oh, that's a great idea. I bet you could do it, Kunasato. Would you two stop?
I think it's a good idea, too. The nurse said you were a difficult person.
What?
Huh? Oh. I hadn't meant to say that. Kunasato was glaring at me fiercely.
Okay. We're going to wait for the after that part till the next part because we're over time. So anyway. Yeah, I'm curious as to how they're going to go with this. If we're going to remember everything or we're going to be like, okay, well, like, and she's not going to remember, but she's going to help produce, or you know what I mean? Like, because I kind of feel like the whole point of her helping and doing this is to get her memories back. And it's going to be weird if she doesn't get her memories back. You know what I mean? And then she's just like, oh, I guess it didn't work. Okay. You know? But, like, at the same time, you wonder, like, if Miyashiro's happy about her coming back is like, okay, well, obviously it's stuck and she's probably never going to get her memories back and then it'll be fine. You know, you think he'd be a little worried about it. Like, so I just don't know how it's going to go. It's interesting, but I want her to get her memories back just because of all the horrible things she just said to us. And then that's just cold, bitch, considering what you did. But there's a weird... There's a weird thing about it that if she doesn't get her memories back and you know all the horrible things she's said and then, like, she thinks those things about herself and then it's like, I don't know, like I said, it's good and bad either way it goes. There's good and bad things about it, so it's just going to be kind of bittersweet regardless, but I don't know. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.